When it comes to the smoking versus vaping, it's just very, very apparent that the chemical constituents of the vape and what people are inhaling are terrible for people and are loaded with carcinogens and a bunch of other stuff, many of which cross the blood-brain barrier.
Sometimes people would benefit to imagine what the surface area of the lung is, right? If you took the alveolar air sacs of the lungs and spread them out, you would easily cover a tennis court.
Mm-hmm. Remarkable.
So just think about anytime you inhale something, you are exposing, your body is so adept at absorbing it. I mean, we have this unbelievable system for gas exchange that was designed for gas exchange. And anytime you're putting something else in that wake, you're doing a really good job of getting it into your body. So be mindful of what that is.
Swamiji, how to come off the addiction?
I'm sorry?
Addiction, like smoking, like drinking, something like that. No, because we know that's a bad thing, but we are addicted to that. I don't know, because I do go for tennis, I go for...
I'm sorry?
I go for sports also, but sometimes we smoke regularly in 3 hours once or 2 hours once, something like that. Mm-hmm. But I know it's a bad thing. I have to come out of that.
I didn't say it's a bad thing. I don't think it's good or bad. It's just quite stupid to be smoking. It's not good or bad, it's just stupid because this machine was not made to smoke. This is an eco-friendly machine. But now you're making it into a smoking machine. That means it's stupid, isn't it? A very efficient machine, you make it inefficient machine. Is it not stupid? Is it good or bad? There's no such thing.
Yeah, we know it's bad, but…
See, that's the whole thing. The moment you call it bad, you can't leave it. See, whale knows what's bad. Why are you giving it titles that it is not? It's just stupid, that's all. If you see something as stupid, you can't be doing it every day. Somewhere, you feel smarter than other people. Yes?
No, because the taste…
See, now slowly in the world, people have gotten against you. Just 10 years ago, if you blow it into somebody's face, you felt great, they felt stupid. Now the equation has reversed in last 10 years' time, isn't it? Isn't it so? So somewhere you thought it's a smart thing to do. When you were just 10-year-old kid, you wanted to suck in and blow it out into somebody's face. It felt like a smart thing to do. You tell me, smoking, a machine that doesn't smoke, to make it smoke. Right now we're working so hard to make our cars smoke less, isn't it? Enormous amount of research into fuels and engines and everything is going on to make our cars smoke less, isn't it? A non-smoking machine, if you make it smoke, is it stupid or intelligent?
Stupid.
Say it loudly.
Stupid.
That's all. If you see that, slowly it'll drop off.
So when it comes to smoking or vaping, there's the thing that's being consumed, the thing that people are trying to put in their bloodstream, nicotine, cannabis, etc. And let's just set those aside. I've done episodes on nicotine and cannabis, and they have their application. They also have their problems. Vaping is terrible because of the other chemicals that it delivers to the lungs. It's also very clear, and we haven't released this episode yet, but I talked to a female hormone doc from Austin, Natalie Crawford, so OBGYN. Vaping is associated with disruptions in egg health and what they call egg quality, can create certain mutations in eggs, and serious endocrine issues in women. Vaping is so addictive. It's a mutagen. It mutates the genes of cells. It mutates the genes of rapidly dividing cells most. So breast cancers, ovarian cancers, egg quality, sperm are constantly turning over. So, people always say, no, well, I vape all the time and I got so-and-so pregnant or whatever. Women will say, I have a perfectly healthy kid. That kid might've been much healthier. And also the kid's not grown up yet. Like, introduce me to the kid later. I wish for that kid. I pray for them, but that they're healthy as can be. But it is so clear that you're introducing a laundry list of toxins to the lungs, and they're getting into the bloodstream and they're are a number of them that cross the blood-brain barrier. And once they cross the blood-brain barrier, those neurons, by virtue of the fact that neurons don't turn over across the lifespan, you're born with the ones that you're going to die with. You might add a few across your lifespan, but you're mostly born with the ones that you're going to die with. Well, they're going to harbor those chemicals and those particulates.
I don't think the industry is standardized enough to be sure that what is being inhaled is sufficiently clean. Maybe it is. Maybe some companies are better than others. I mean, we could talk about that all day long, but I'm not personally willing to put my trust in that market, in that infrastructure, in those companies whatsoever. So for me personally, this would be a no-brainer. There's no upside in it to me. The nicotine is not the problem, right? It's just like with cigarettes. Nicotine is not the problem with cigarettes. Yes, there's an addictive component to it. The problem is the toxicity of the vehicle that's delivering the nicotine in the form of tobacco. Well, with vaping, I don't have any sense of what's happening when you have a heated metal filament that is burning combustible products, some of which I may or may not be inhaling through a filter. Like, what I'm saying is not that I know there's something wrong with this, but I'm saying I have no confidence in that industry to regulate itself or our regulatory agency to regulate them. And therefore, because I don't know where it is on the risk parameter, but I definitely don't feel comfortable saying it's getting hit by a tricycle. It could be getting hit by, a small car. It could be getting hit by a train for all I know. It's just an unknown.
I'm not trying to be cruel to you. I'm not somebody who is moralistic and say you should not smoke. I'm not even looking at it as a moral issue as some people look at it. It's just that doing something that's against your system is senseless.
Obviously I'm not a clinician, but anytime I hear about small molecules, these small inorganic molecules getting across the blood-brain barrier and then being maintained in neurons for many, many years, I worry because the experiment is ongoing mostly in young people. So anyway, without going too far down that track, I think if people can avoid smoking and vaping, they should. First of all, it's actually not unlike cigarette smoking, it's expensive. That's not the main reason people avoid it, but it's a significant expense when you add it up across the year. It's clearly addictive. There's no question about it. It's clearly detrimental to lung function. And then people like how it makes their brain feel. And they think that if they're already pretty active, physically active, then they can offset some of that, and they probably can. But I think in the next 5 years or so, we're just going to see a slew of studies showing that vaping is just bad for us, especially for the developing brain, because it's bringing in at a very rapid rate high potency nicotine and high potency cannabis. And from Mona Lemke's work, and we know my colleague at Stanford, that the slope of that increase in dopamine and epinephrine, adrenaline, and acetylcholine is so important. The sharper that slope, the faster the rise, the more addictive potential these compounds have. And so it's so far and away different than the kind of dopamine or epinephrine or acetylcholine increase that one sees with exercise or with cold plunges or with sex or with these
dancing
other things,
with
or
friends,
dancing and things, So, and one of course could be addicted to any of the other things I just mentioned too, but the potential for it is far less than something like vaping.
Another thing is, suppose you found some pleasure in that and you're doing it, it's okay, I leave it to you. But the biggest problem for me is that you become compulsive about simple things in life. That is a big problem for me. You smoking, that's not a big issue for me. You're doing something compulsively, this is a big issue, because you're throwing away the evolutionary benefits that this human being has, that he can do everything consciously, but you are choosing to compulsively do something what you might have picked up as a fad or as a pleasure, as a simple pleasure in your life. You like tobacco, you like to smoke. I'm not coming in the way. All I'm saying is, don't throw away the evolutionary benefit, because this Mother Earth and nature has worked for 1,000,000 years to get you to this level of awareness, consciousness and intelligence, this size of brain. When people are using their brains today to see how to make a car that doesn't smoke, You still smoking? What is that? Once in a way you wanted to smoke because you enjoy that. I will leave that, I will not enter your personal life to that extent. Well, it doesn't make sense, but everything need not make sense, it's okay. But you're compulsive, that, no. Because these millions of years of evolution is just going waste in you, going up in smoke, literally. Now should I give it up, should I give it up? What is there to give up? See, if smoke was coming out of your ears, you should go for treatment, something burning inside. But you're taking it in and you're blowing it out. There is no treatment, you just have to make up your mind. You can only make up your mind because you've seen those Marlboro ads. Because you thought you're a real man only when you smoke. No, I'm not being gender prejudiced, women also can smoke, of course. Oh, what makes you think only men can smoke? No, you can also be stupid. Being stupid is not only a man's privilege, everybody has a right. Only thing is, stupidity takes on many forms of hurting various lives. But the most basic form of stupidity is that you choose to hurt this life, though there is physical pain and many other things involved, still you choose to hurt this one. This is not happening by choice. You might have started by choice, but after some time it's just one big compulsion. I want to give it up, I want to give it up. Don't do all this. If you forcefully give it up, you will start doing some other crazy thing. This once happened. Shankaran Pillai one day was just leaving the office and his office colleague, a young woman, asked him, "Can you please drop me home today?" He said yes, like a gentleman. He took her, he opened the door, everything. They were driving. When a lonely stretch of road came, he stopped and suddenly he became like an octopus. That means he had 8 limbs. He was all over her. She pushed him away and said, "You fool, I got into your car thinking you're a decent fellow, what are you doing?" He said, I'm sorry, I quit smoking." So you don't do these things forcefully. If you understand, if you are beginning to understand that we are understanding that a bus which smokes heavily is not good, a car that smokes is not good, but in the evolution of an automobile, they are still in that place where they still have to smoke. Not all of them have become electric. In the evolution of an automobile, still smoke is all right. We are working towards a smokeless one, but still smoke is all right because the evolution of an automobile has still not reached that place where it's totally smokeless. But the evolution of this became very smokeless long time ago. It throws out carbon dioxide, this is its nature. But now you want to inhale carbon monoxide or whatever it is. Well, you just have to see, it's stupid. Once you see something is stupid, you don't have to give it up, it'll go. Right now, you're feeling little… You think it's very smart to do this, especially when you are 14, 15 years of age, when you smoked, you thought you're really doing some great thing. So, whatever your age now, if you understand this is a stupid thing that you're doing, you don't have to give it up, it'll just fall off, because you don't like to be stupid, I know that.
There is a high when you can see better, hear better, think better, visualize better. There is a tremendous high with life, because the greatest chemical factory on the planet is here.